Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Join hosts Dan Melnick and Qasim Masood as they explore big ideas, limitless possibilities, and engage with visionaries, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders who dare to dream big, get inspired, motivated, and find practical tips for personal growth. Think big, dream bigger, and ignite your potential.
All right, welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim, and our guest today is Aaron. So Aaron, if you want to go ahead, introduce yourself, tell us what you do for a living and where you live.
So my name is Aaron, currently living in Schaumburg, Illinois, and what I'm doing right now, I am an engineer at Masumi USA, and I do additive manufacturing engineering, so 3D printing, research and development for Masumi USA, and on the side, I have my own Etsy business called AT3DPRINTS, and the 3D printing aspect and what I do with that on the side is create like gifts for different customers for like holidays, different occasions, birthdays, and whatever they want. So yeah, that's a little bit about me right now.
Awesome. So how did you get the idea to start this business?
Oh, that's a good question. So I've been interested in 3D printing for a while now. I started in 2013 doing, I was working at a company that my dad worked at and doing like an internship. And they had a lot of different, like, I was doing like some design work, and they also had a 3D printer there too, and like industrial size 3D printer. So I was very interested in that and wanted to know more about it. So did some research and found out what 3D printing was and how it actually worked too. And then fast forward a couple of years, I was interning at a company in Wisconsin, and my friend had his own 3D printer. And so I was like, well, I'm working, why not, buy myself my own 3D printer. Bought myself a small 3D printer and got into knowing, more about it, how it worked, and designing like small different things for people and for myself too as a hobby. And then I found that I was went to work at a company called SKF, and I did more 3D printing there, and eventually got my own like huge printer, and did more hobby on the side, and then started. My dad was like, "Well, why don't you try this like as a business? Think about like making money with it. You're very talented in like 3D modeling and 3D printing. Why not?" I was like, I don't know, maybe. So eventually went into the business and started making money on it, and giving like samples to people and seeing like what people liked. And then it just went from there.
So, other than profits, how do you measure the success?
How do we measure success? I measure success by just like how many orders I'm getting, like how many like profit too, but like it's more of my passion in general. And so like just like getting more orders is like how I measure success, and like just like making like uh getting more orders in general. Yeah.
What is the role of technology in your business?
The role of the technology is the main source of like my company. And so I have both 3D printers, two 3D printers at my house. And it plays a big role because if I didn't have those 3D printers, I wouldn't be able to, make those gifts and make the parts for people. And in addition to like using computers and like stuff like that too, is highly helpful for 3D printing in general.
And in terms of 3D printers, this is something related to the bigger printers and different sort of inks and different sort of softwares as well, and all the resolutions. All these things are different. Like these are not ordinary.
Right.
So when you started this business, did you have this idea in your mind how you can, like how these things works, or you started learning all these things when you jumped into it?
Yeah, yeah. So I had a decent understanding of 3D printing in general before I started my business. And then when I started my business, I had a lot of information already to just dive into it and just completely go all out. Because the biggest thing I wanted to do was make my own stuff. There's like different ways you can like sell things, whereas you can use other people's models and then print that and then sell that. I wanted to go to the route of designing my own things and selling that those 3D prints because it's special to me that I know that I designed it myself to send to the customer.
Okay, so how do you ensure the quality and precision of the final 3D print products? Are there any quality control processes, or there's anything else that you would like to highlight?
So there are certain settings I put into the 3D printers that ensure the quality, and I make sure to maintain the printers all the time to ensure the quality of the parts and the parts and the gifts for the customers. Yeah.
Okay. The thing is, when you talk about the material, uh, the variety of material available, I believe there will be a variety of materials, but how do you guide the clients in selecting the most suitable material for their projects or whatever they are looking for? Or you decide it on your own?
Yeah. So currently, I only print with PLA.
Mm-hmm.
There are more materials that you can print with. You can print with ABS plastic. You can print with TPU, which is a more flexible material.
Mm-hmm.
And you need certain kinds of nozzles to print these types of materials. And so currently, I only have the one type of nozzle that came with the printer, and like I switch it out. But the main material I print with is PLA because it's the easiest material currently to print with.
And who is making all these 3D designs? Is
I
it
am.
you?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good.
So right now it's a one-man show. I have my own software that I use for 3D modeling,
Uh-huh.
and then I would be able to send it to a certain software for the 3D printer to read, send it to the
Mm-hmm.
3D printer, start printing. Then once it's done, if I need to take off any extra material that it was needed, and then I pack it up and send it to USPS.
And how much time it takes to make a 3D model when you are modeling for someone? And on the other hand, people let you know like what they are looking for, and you make that model, or you just they just say, okay, we need something in a scenery, make it, or we need flowers, please make it, and you make it on your own choice.
So there's two different options. On my Etsy shop, I have my own products. So it's
Okay.
made to order. They look at the products, and some of the products are, let's say, this 3D printed lantern.
Nice.
You have photos on the lantern, and they would order that and send me four photos.
Okay.
Or sometimes I would do, if they want something customized, like
Mm-hmm.
completely customized, I would charge by the hour based on what they would want and see if it was actually feasible too. And so hours, it depends because there's like a lot of different complexities with the part. If it's like like really big or really small, it could depend on the print time. And if you're printing those pictures, those pictures can take maybe 8 to 10 hours each.
Okay.
And so it takes a while for those to print, but you get good results.
Okay. Got it. And do you think like this is the age of AI now? So, and after the GPT, AI completely changed. Now this is a complete new time with the AI. So, do you think AI can also help you in your work anywhere?
Currently, I don't think AI would be able to help me in my current work because it would need to be able to design like a specific model, and I'm not sure it might be out there, but I'm not sure if it's out there quite yet. Basically saying, uh, this is what I want to design in a 3D model,
Mm-hmm.
and make it. You would have to like maybe put in some, text or something like that, but it has to be very specific because
Mm-hmm.
the actual 3D model is parametric modeling, which is dimensions and stuff like that. So specifically, you have to put in all that stuff for it to make the actual design. And so text to actual 3D model, I'm not sure it's there yet.
Makes sense. So, what was your biggest challenge when starting this business?
My biggest challenge was actually believing that I could do it. Because like I know like I had the skills to do it, and I had the 3D printers and everything, but actually believing that like I could sell my own things. And for a long time it took me a while to get to that state, to believe in myself and to actually, want to sell and take it from a hobby to actual small business. And I think my biggest supporter, and some people will say it, but was my dad. He actually like encouraged me to get into my own business and to pursue, taking it from a hobby to my business and make some money off of it.
That's awesome. So, when you first started selling things, how did you know what to sell or even like how to reach people? Like, how did you even go about starting this whole process?
So I started by making some small designs for people and distributing out samples like, okay, here is something I designed. What do you think of it? What do you think of the quality? Would you buy this? And and I've looked online of like what people have sold before, and what my some of my friends were actually in the 3D printing business as well, and so I wanted to see what they were doing too, to see if I can, do something different or do something like similar to that as well, and see how it goes. And so I went into my community, gave them samples, and then um, figured out that people actually liked it. People actually liked the designs and everything like that, and wanted to know more and wanted to, I wanted to actually like sell and create my own brand.
That's awesome. So, in terms of growing your brand, like, what are your goals in terms of scalability, in terms of growth? Like, do you plan on expanding more, hiring people? Like, what's your vision for your business?
Currently, it's gonna be like small because I do have my own engineering job that I'm doing, and so it's more of like a side business. But in terms of scalability, probably getting more printers at a different point and expanding that way. And never know, maybe hire some people in the long run. But I really haven't thought about it because it's a small business that just makes money on the side. So I haven't really thought about like where it's going to go quite yet.
So, what are the trends you're seeing? I mean, where do you see the future of 3D printing going in the next few years?
Oh my. There's a lot of places 3D printing is going, and in terms of like different industries, there's the automotive industry, there's the medical industry, there's the aerospace industry, there's creating houses. And so 3D printing is expanding very rapidly, and it's only going to get bigger. And in the next, like, I would say, I know you said like a couple of years, but in the next like 5 to 10 years, you see, in maybe 15, you can see printing organs.
So, in terms of 3D printing, like you see all these different use cases. Do you see like a lot of big companies that are utilizing it today, or do you still feel like that there's a gap? 'Cause I think, like a lot of people don't even know what it is or what it's even all about.
I feel like there is some sort of a gap still, because the growth that 3D printing can bring to a company is very huge, because 3D printing can create new parts and create less lead times and is very cost effective too. Um, and a lot of different companies are still within traditional manufacturing and in that type of like CNC and steel and aluminum, but plastics and even like metal 3D printing is making a name for itself. And so, even though there's some sort of a gap right now, I'm sure that within the next few years, that gap's going to shrink, and more companies will be utilizing 3D printing in their business because of how it's uh, it's growing. It'll grow their business and be more profitable, um, and help them expand.
So you mentioned that you're on Etsy. So how do you differentiate yourself from your competition on there? How do you even like get the word out about your business?
So I use Etsy ads, so that helps. But I do like social media presence on like Facebook. I use TikTok videos sometimes as well, and just tell people in general, like word of mouth too. And so there's different streams of, getting my name out there.
Awesome. So what's the one biggest piece of advice that you wish you knew before you first started this business?
That's a good question. The biggest piece of advice is just go for it, and there's gonna be a lot of like different things that you have to figure out, a lot of challenges that you're gonna need to overcome, some failures too, but keep on moving forward, like, because if it's your passion, you're gonna be successful. And it's just keep on going, because if it makes you happy, you're gonna be successful.
So if somebody wanted to reach out to your business, what's the name of your page or how can they find you on Etsy?
So my page is called, Etsy shop is called AT3D Prints. And yeah, you can just search it on the Etsy website in the search bar and then find the shop. And got all my gifts and different types of products there. And if you want to message me on something specific, like customization or something, I'll be able to message you back and see if we can work on something.
That was great. Well, Aaron, thank you so much for your time. We're rooting for you. Wish me the best of luck. Hopefully, you can get more printers and scale your business like even more.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
Appreciate you
being
guys.
a guest.
Thanks. All right. Bye.
Bye
Good seeing you,
bye.
man.
But